Ladies and gentlemen, are you ready? Today we're diving into a battle of wits between a father and daughter. The man insists he sit, but it was like looking for a needle in a haystack. The lawyer immediately pulls out a computer to show him how to Google Mary. He gives it a shot and can't even spell Mary's full name. No way the judge is giving custody to a guy like that. So, the trial is deadlocked again. Frank tries to persuade his mom, but she's determined to take Mary away. They part ways again, and at home, Mary just can't hold it together, locking herself in the bathroom for a good cry. It's her first meeting with her bio dad in the same city. Suddenly, she feels abandoned. Yeah, if Dad really wanted to find her, would he have waited 7 years to help Mary sort it out? Her philosophy professor, Uncle, figured out and he took Mary to the hospital lobby, and they sat there, like a couple of owls, from afternoon to midnight. Mary grows restless, but Uncle stays patient, waiting silently. What's he waiting for? Suddenly, a baby's cry breaks the silence. Uncle wakes sleeping Mary, who smiles seeing the happy family across. Uncle secretly whispers to her, "Take your time, easy does it, just like that." Mary's heart starts to open up. Little does she know that her endlessly loving uncle has his own issues brewing inside. The custody battle is heating up, with Evelyn on the witness stand as Frank's lawyer starts digging into Mary's mom's past. Turns out, Mary's mom never even caught a live baseball game, despite having 30 years of game tickets at home, and she never went to prom either. She never graduated high school, had no hobbies, and her first love was cut short by her mom talk about taking the fun out of life. Heartbroken, she even tried to take her own life to prove her mom's parenting was a total flop. Yet here we are. Evelyn still thinks she did nothing. With that, it's for your own good speech. Frank's lawyer is left speechless. Now the prosecution is digging in, targeting Frank's financial. Right now, she's just scraping by with odd jobs at the dock, missing out on professional opportunities left and right. Just trying her best to hustle, but it's like running on a hamster wheel, no real progress. Frank figures she doesn't need to be wealthy, just give Mary a normal life. Is that too much to ask? But the prosecution doesn't hold back, pointing fingers at Mary's fighting issues. Don't you see? Your parenting style is giving her a bad temper. It's like robbing her of a future, you know? You clearly have a better opportunity here, but you're letting it slip away. Do you really think you're doing right by May? Frank struggles to give a positive response, but deep within, that knot in his heart remains tightly tied and unresolved. Her biggest fear? That she'll stifle Mary's talent. After court, Mom's lawyer pitches a compromise, send Mary to a foster home. Until Mary's 12, then she gets to pick who to live with. Frank won't accept that, but reality check. If she loses, she might never see Mary again. After checking out the foster home, Frank finally gives in, especially since the foster parents let Mary keep her cats and even surprise her with a piano. This place seems ideal for Mary's growth. We're leaving. She can't stop crying. She begs her uncle, recalling his promise never to abandon her, but no matter how hard she pleads, he reluctantly walks away. Frank can only shed silent tears in the car. She used to think Mary was a burden, but now she realizes Mary found her own life, yet Frank feels this emptiness that no amount of work can fill. Finally, visiting Eye arrives. Frank has a heartfelt apology gift, but the foster dad kicks her to the curb. The foster dad fears she'll upset Mary. If she enters, the hard work will be wasted. So, Frank drops the gift and walks away, choosing not to disrupt Mary's new life any longer. A few months later, a teacher spots a one-eyed calico to be euthanized and thinks, wasn't that Mary's cat? She quickly snaps a pic and sends it to Frank, who drops everything and races over to the shelter like a superhero to save their cat from going to heaven. The staff mentions the man brought it in due to allergies, and Frank instantly connects the dots. It had to be her cat-allergic mom. She grabs a 7-year sealed box and storms into the foster families. The moment she opens the door, lo and behold, she sees Mary surrounded by math professors. Furious, she doesn't even hesitate. She flings the box contents out, and silence blankets the room. Mary is livid with anger at her uncle, and Frank rushes after her, allowing Mary to slap her hard repeatedly, despite the pain, and they finally embrace tightly together. In that moment, all of Frank's worries vanish as she decides to head back to the foster home and reveal her secret to her mother. Turns out, 7 years ago, Mary's mom solved that century-old problem, but Evelyn doesn't buy it one bit. This was the super problem that has puzzled the math world for nearly a century. Solve it, and you're a math rockstar. But Frank tells her, and Evelyn, filled with shock upon hearing this, can't believe her ears. After a while, she dazedly pulls out the drafts from the box only to find them soaked with tears. That's when she realizes just how much her daughter despises. Evelyn breaks down in tears, but it feels like crocodile tears, just a temporary emotional outburst. Thankfully, she gives up the custody battle, and Frank has a revelation after all of this. This is what childhood should be. Every child is a miracle. Lucky ones may have gifts, but it's a blessing, not an excuse for parents to micromanage. Real education has no fixed answer. It starts with listening and ends with understanding. Even the so-called genius girl is really just a romantic little girl at heart.